It's really been ultra silent coming from, or should I say not coming from, EA DICE, as over the last 4 or 5 days, our only source of any information concerning Battlefield 2042 is actually coming from industry insider Tom Henderson, and that's what I wanted to break down just a bit for you today. Plus, breaking news, earlier today we got one more confirmation of just how badly EA is looking at 2042, to the point of just being ashamed of it. My name is Lieutenant Buzz Lightbeer, and I wanted to thank you all for the overwhelming support you've been showing my channel as of late. And if you like what you see and haven't yet hit that big, beautiful subscribe button, please do so. And if you really like what you see, possibly also consider ringing the bell to receive all my future upload notifications. Right out of the gate, I went back and jumped on my old familiar, that being the PlayStation 4, which I haven't touched in what feels like a year, and grabbed some Battlefield 1 footage. As you can tell, I'm super rusty, but after about an hour, it started to come back to me. I explained in my last upload that I cannot stand playing 2042, and have instead decided to use footage I've captured from previous Battlefield titles as video background, so there you go. Alright, so the big news today is that Respawn has announced they will be working on releasing 3 upcoming Star Wars games. But wait, Buzz, your thumbnail is showing something about Battlefield 2042. And in a way, this announcement is just another slam dunk on the tragedy that is Battlefield 2042. Now, the EA investor call is less than a week away, and with this announcement, Electronic Arts is trying to bolster up their investors' confidence by attempting to wash away the disastrous launch and subsequent public backlash towards 2042 by changing the narrative to Star Wars and the fact they've got 3 upcoming releases. Now, as I comb over the tweets and the gaming sites, you know what you don't see? Any public praise from EA towards Battlefield, because there isn't any and they won't. They're going to attempt to just breeze right over this one, especially with their investors on that call, with some just, corporate canned response like, "We've got big plans for Battlefield 2042 and are truly confident in our live service model." And this brings me to the second fact that I want to discuss today, and I don't know if you've really been paying attention to it, but have you noticed how you haven't seen a blip about Battlefield 2042? And especially not from EA and or DICE's very own community managers. Now, these are people that specialize in communicating with the player base and acknowledging questions and concerns. Where are they? Well, here's Justin Wiebe, Senior Design Director at Ripple Effect, hasn't said a peep about 2042 since 4 days ago. Pay attention to that figure of 4 days. Freeman, lead community manager at EA Studios, hasn't touched a community concern since January 21st, 4 days ago. Kevin Johnson, community manager at EA DICE on Battlefield 2042, actually responded to a post on Twitter on January 22nd, 3 days ago, concerning wild screen flickers, but hasn't really done much since. Oh, here's a good one. Vince Zampella, who EA handpicked to save Battlefield from the road to ruin, hasn't posted anything to Twitter since January 1st. Buzz, you must be dreaming, because I'm sure that the Battlefield Direct Comms Twitter account has been super active. You know what? Think again. Last tweet from them was January 21st, 4 days ago, when they announced they were removing the ill-fated zombie survival mode from Portal as last week's featured experience, which I still can't believe that one made it through Q&A, but then nothing has really been surprising me about this release. And finally, just for good measure, here is the mighty official Battlefield Twitter feed, and it's just straight tumbleweeds. Now, maybe this is just the nagging voice in the back of my head, but you would think that if a company had pulled staff away from Need for Speed, Battlefront, and Battlefield 5, poured millions into a new release, and then laid a big fat egg with that new game, again, just me theorizing here, but you would expect that company to show some freaking urgency with getting that new release back into a workable and enjoyable state. EA DICE left Battlefield 5 to die a slow and painful death, so that in order for 2042 to rise from the ashes, and it actually turns out this game is a bigger turd than the previous one. With that realization, EA DICE developed a huge and comprehensive roadmap to get 2042 back in order. Every day I'm expecting to read those headlines, but instead it's just freaking crickets. I remember reading a tweet from Tom Henderson, who is apparently going to be our one and only source for communication between the studio and the player base, and he mentioned there is nothing really going on internally with Battlefield 2042 because even DICE doesn't know what to do with the game. EA is apparently very unhappy with sales and is looking at all the options, but you know what? Making a fucking better game is not one of them. I mean, when our last meaningful communication was DICE posting an alpha build photo of a scoreboard, and we are being tasked as the players with teaching them what it takes to make a decent Battlefield game, then you know what? We are screwed as a player base. There is no hope for this title to make a No Man's Sky return to glory, and this brings me full circle to that lack of communication, and it comes down to they just got nothing to say. Because logically, you would think that if your game just got roasted by the fans that have stuck with this franchise for 20 years, you would want to issue an apology and then come out with a comprehensive roadmap to how you as a studio was setting to work restructuring this failure into something usable and liked. Now, I'm not going to sit here and give you a point by point as to what I feel this game needs because it's all over the internet most of the time. I agree with them, and it's the same items just listed over and over. And maybe you're still out there holding on to the edge of that cliff with your broken shards of your fingernails just locked into the very edge of those boulders, and you're like, no, Battlefield's not going to fail. And to you, whoever you are and wherever you are, you need to let go. Because Battlefield 2042 has already achieved that title of failure. You know it, I know it, DICE knows it, and especially EA knows it. And that's why we haven't seen a peep from any of the comms team members. That's why we haven't seen a comprehensive roadmap. That's why we haven't seen or heard what will be included in this supposed upcoming March season update. And that's why we haven't seen a list of fixes and modifications from the studio and the devs openly discussing what they're going to do to fix Battlefield, because they aren't and they can't. I honestly don't like making videos like this, and I would much rather be featuring some new and exciting mode just installed into the game. But when you have EA involved, their shareholders grumbling about profits, and free-to-play Portal being tossed around as the stupid band-aid to save the game, it all feels so damn familiar to what we went through with Anthem. Anyways, leave me your thoughts and feedback in the comment section below because I try to read and respond to as many of them as I can. Please take a moment to smash that sub button and ring the bell to receive all future uploads from my channel. If you could rate and or share this video, it's also greatly appreciated. And don't forget to find and follow me on Twitch and Twitter, and you're always welcome to join my community Discord server. Links to all of these platforms in the video description below. Until the next one, this is Lieutenant Buzz Lightyear, signing off.